get the ball rolling there, and I don't know if I have to set like quote unquote deadlines exactly, but I know what to do and I have to execute. But I'm also in a funny spot where like there's no urgency, at least assuming this contract goes through. I'm in a I'm more or less like set, so I have a lot of options, kind of too much freedom. But yeah, I'm feeling good about it, to be clear, but especially easing out of holiday mode now. It's a bit of a weird gear shift.
Yeah, no, that all sounds very good. Um, the emails about the
Mm.
emails.
Yeah,
Um,
how about yeah, uh,
this
yeah,
seems to be a
it
pattern
keeps
here.
coming up. Yeah, it's I'm and I'm seeing like I can see it like I am seeing it more like directly as resistance, but then yeah, the interpretation of the resistance is like like I keep I think I'm finding it backwards where it's like when I'm feeling resistance or like stuff is hard or stressful, I try to like shrink my goals to something too achievable, and I just kind of get like stuck in the middle. Whereas I almost need to go like, no, no, like I'm just picking something, not like it has to be hyper ambitious, but I'm just going to do what I want to do, like do what I believe in, and then figure it out. Um, where I'm like at this point where like I can kind of be inefficient and I can kind of like tread water. I tend to stay there is kind of how I'm feeling about it. So
I see.
it's I just need to pick, and I know what I'm gonna do. It just keeps working. It's like I know exactly what I can do. I pretty much know the demographic that fits it, so I think I just need to run it. Whereas I've had this, I don't know, just this generic desire to like help everyone or fix everything. It's easy to just like bop between topics and stuff. But yeah, for the like, if I work with like the 10 or 20 like correct people a year, or through my entire career, I teach like 250 or 300 people, over the next, 5, 10 years. Like that's really what my job is. But in my head, it's well hard to prioritize tasks when I start doing this in the haphazard way, like instead of the like structured, organized, planned
Yeah.
way. And so I think I have the confidence now that I can. What I was lacking before is like I felt like if I was going to start going in that direction, like the next month or something, I might get derailed. I don't really feel that now. I feel like what I pick, I will do, and I kind of know what to do. But like, there's too many tabs in my brain.
Okay. Yeah. No, dude. We're like ambitious, right? Like just kind
Mm-hmm.
of naturally. I feel like if you have ADHD, there's like a pretty high guarantee that you're just gonna be ambitious. It's just kind of how it works, which is very ironic considering the situation. But um, like we do need that. Like yeah, we exist in this weird state of like, oh, I'm ambitious, but I am less equipped to enable myself to actually reach my goals, right? And to actually um, reach them. And so, like, something that we kind of have um, in us is like, oh, yeah. And it's a great mindset to have because ADHD thrives off challenge. Is like, I want to push myself and I want to, like, become the best and I want to, like, do everything I possibly can. And that's awesome. And, like, we have this ambition. Like, that's good. But we have to sort of check it with the reality of, oh, yeah, we have ADHD and things are just inherently harder. And so, like, kind of the phase that works well is like, yeah, just doing the, like, getting that MVP working where it's like, oh, I've got something and it's working and it's stable, even if it's really bad.
Yeah,
Just getting that first. And then once you know that that is going to be a consistent thing, then you try and push through resistance and see if you can do better.
yeah. And I think I did that in that like it's been going well with like again like 2 clients, and now I'm just like okay, I just need to scale it because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the thing that's overwhelming me in executing is like I know what I need to do, and it is like 30 or 40 things over the course of several months, but it feels like one thing that I have to do today.
Yeah.
So, like, the MVP of getting the ball rolling, basically. Like, starting the coaching, I more or less know the curriculum. I can put together some materials. Maybe it changes, and I do my 2 lectures a week, and I'm doing the private calls, and then it's just rolling. And the way the resistance or the fear has been showing up for me is like, I don't know, insecurity around that, like too much fear or doubt around that. So yeah, I'm fully on board. And also with the MVP thing, yeah, like you say, like if it is broke, I can level it up. Like I can, if I need to do 2 hours to update a module, I can do it. But again, as as we discussed before, I pretty much can just rip it with the same playbook I've like had, and yeah, I don't know. I have more doubt about that than I need to. So MVP has to be rolling for sure compared to. No, I don't even know. I'm kind of excited just to do it like I've been doing again, and I
Yeah.
do think on the ambition side, I wanted it to be somehow more or different or like super exciting. And maybe the thing is just like the exciting part maybe comes in like 6 months or a year. Like the exciting part of this isn't going to be like this initial. It's not quite repeating, but I've done something similar, so I kind of know what to expect for the next 3 months. At least I feel like I do. Um, hmm. So I'm just rambling. I don't have anywhere interested to go.
No, dude, you're thinking, which is good. You're thinking it through. Um, yeah, no, just getting that MVP is solid, and like you said, you already have all of these pieces where it's like uh, you've done what the title here is. Like you've forged this flow already. You can actually just go back and fall back on it, and it's like a good baseline for increasing. And that is like if you like when we're trying to get more out of life and we're trying to be more productive, like what is actually going on is we're trying to increase flow. Like you think about it, it's like everything is like throughput. It's like you want money circulating, you want focus circulating, you want vitality circulating. Like that's life, and like your environment and what you're building has to be the same way. Like if like a business
Yeah,
is
yeah,
kind of fundamentally sort of like an organism that has money flowing through it. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
passion and things like
I
that.
like that. I like that frame too because when I'm trying to if I'm trying to set like static goals or like outcomes or like I'm doing something for the end result, it somehow doesn't work. Like when I'm trying to like activate my creative synapse, where it's like I'm bringing like an organism into life is almost like more of it. Like what am I actually doing here? You know, like I'm creating this whole like structure, company, organism that people like engage with, and it keeps like changing and evolving, and it's not quite done.
Yeah.
And that is a pretty different way of like relating to it, I feel. And also I keep getting stuck between like tensions of, like I always could do more work, I could perfect it, I could like work ahead, I could work with like ABC client, but just actually showing up and creating this stuff and moving through it and then iterating like is what I'm trying to teach people. So the fact that it's not done and will never be done is a given, right?
Mm.
um I've started doing keto recently, so I've changed up my diet. So like the cycling, the like vitality cycling thing's pretty interesting to me because apparently it leads to something like fasting, where your cells actually like old ones will sort of go away and new ones regenerate even. But if you don't have that proper cycle going, that can be kind of like slowed or like atrophied a little bit.
Yeah. You know exactly. And it's like you think about everything you do that is productive. It's how do I put this? It's like it exists in circuits. It's literally circuitry. It's like you have input, you put input, it creates output, and then you do input again, and like that's
Yeah.
it's everything's in loops. Even you starting a task is a loop because it's like task initiation, which is one of the things that we struggle with. Um, is how would I put this? It's like you can have a process for doing that, and it's like that is something that exists in your sort of like circuitry of like your company and your being and like how you get things done, and it's like you have to like you engage with it and then the flow starts. But if you haven't ever had that flow, then it's going to be very difficult. And so if you want to like expand, if you want to grow, it's like keep what you have and just work with what you have, but build something new on the side
Yeah.
and then sort of like just redirect the energy as soon as you got it. And you're still gonna have to iterate it, but
Yeah, yeah. No, I know what you mean with that, and it's like the more I'm coaching, the more that kind of happens like naturally anyway. Like if I have things going on in the day, I've got projects to be doing. Like some thought will come, I'll record something, or I'll even like have to be. And when I'm like teaching other people, then especially like if I am working with like 12, like 20 people, they end up kind of like teaching each other, or like some people within that group end up kind of acting as tutors as well. So there's this thing of me like feeding energy into the system in general, especially early, where then it does elements of it start to become automatic that right now I have to put energy into, and then there's more room for me to be building on top of it and kind of creating. And I'm doing like less of the, I don't know, low level like foundational teaching, because there's just a community of people who are like up to speed with that and excited about it kind of at the same time. Um, so this is all helping clarify how it ends up building into something, because there's something about like this expected value thing of just not starting from zero, but maybe like starting small and seeing how big the project is, of like how could this even possibly come together. But what you're describing is reminding me that it's all, I don't know about common sense, but I've experienced this. Like of course it works this way. Like,
yeah,
and like trusting that the consistent effort that I'm like eager to put forward is like I mean, like almost an inevitability, like not just sufficient. It's like I can just show up this way, basically expect it to work, and it will, rather than like sort of doubting the whole thing.
yeah. No, you just keep.
But that doubt resistance, that's more like the thing that stops me from even starting, though. It's not like when I'm doing it I'm in heavy doubt. It's just like, oh yeah, can't even pick something sort of.
Yeah, but like it's funny. It's really funny because like how many times have you overcome resistance?
At least twice.
Yeah,
Like, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, like a lot, like 1,000 times a day, maybe,
yeah, literally,
in small ways.
exactly.
Yeah, I heard that taught in like the opposite of like do you have resistance to like taking a sip of that cup of coffee? And it's like, oh, okay, you know what it's like to you know do something without resistance. Like it's not necessarily some huge huge like rah rah thing.
Yeah, no, literally. Um, let's see. I'm blanking.
Yeah, this energy like so like the main thing that's coming to like my mind around this, it's like I want to bring people in. I also kind of want to create some new stuff. I want like people to be like vibing in the group, and I found that like I probably just need to like trust that on an intuitive level if I'm showing up with it clear and like figure it out. Like it's kind of like a parallel process. Um, but yeah, that's where I get stuck. It's like this. I don't want to overload my capacity. I guess like say with this MVP thing, but it's strange. I get like what I'm thinking now. It's like this guy I'm working with. Like I front load a lot of the work. I'm doing a lot of like review of his hands and stuff. It is like kind of fairly intensive, like long term work. But again, the more I work with people, the less I have to do that as much, because I can kind of use one player as a case study for everyone else, like
Mm-hmm.
kind of spot by spot. Um, so I think I know I've done this before. I think I just need to get into gear. I keep like my thought is that I need to keep doing more work before I can like take the next step or like have something else click. But it just doesn't happen unless I start start moving. No, I have all the pieces. It's almost resistance to like once I choose to do this, like I am gonna have uh, work to do consistently 4 or 5 days a week, kind of instead of I don't know. Right now it's very very haphazard. I guess it's very 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 sporadic. Um, but I think I want that. Like it only ends up being like 4 or 5 hours of work a day after the main project is rolling, and I'm pretty hungry for that. So I think it's just too much. Like I just need to rip it. Like I know these steps, and once I'm going, I think they all kind of go together. Otherwise, I get stuck in overthinking the stuff, and then like taking one step and then taking it and then just freezing again, sort of thing. I take the one small step and then I stop again, and then I take the same small step the next week. Is sort of where I find myself.
Yeah.
Um, but it's been strange for the December too, because like I felt like I've had a lot more of this clarity, but like the pace has also just been a bit slower, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, going slow will create more clarity, but
But then now I've got the clarity. Now I
yeah,
gotta
now you
no,
gotta
yeah,
move.
totally.
So, um, yeah, no, it really is like, um, how do I put? So, basically, you're at the point where you're like, the getting started is the hard part, which is that's always the hard part, and the reason why is because, you just kind of think about physics, and I really like using physics as a framework that applies to how our own internal system works because it kind of mirrors it. It's like entropy is weighing down on you, and that's part of resistance, right? Is just the inherent, like, I don't want to do anything factor. Um, and in order to overcome entropy, you need a spark, you need ignition. That's like it's
Mm,
the same thing as like a car engine. It's like you have to like have that spark in order for it to actually start.
mm,
And so I find that what works for that spark, there's like you have like a few different options. It's like um, one, actually no, I'm not. You don't even have a few different options. You have one option. Actually no. Okay, I keep bouncing back and forth. You do have two options. So option number one is basically you look at the outcome of what you want. You think, okay, what do I need to get there? And then you just keep thinking about the outcome. And this is something that resistance does not want you to do. It's kind of the same thing as like fighting temptation or getting over an addiction. Is like awareness just like destroys it, and we've talked about that how awareness just like slays resistance. And so like
yeah, I find it. I think it is like I heard someone talking about this in relation to addiction. I've been listening to a little bit more addiction stuff. Like he like coaches executives or something like to be like alcohol free or like cut it way down and like talking about how because like a lot of those people it's like are they even like exactly an alcoholic? It's even like a weird frame that's like changing over time. But it's like when they realize that like when they actually want the healthy lifestyle, you know what I mean? It's not like anti-alcohol. It's like they actually want to, be vital, like eat well. Like it's a privilege for them to even be able to afford to eat the things they eat, and live that way. And they truly want that lifestyle, and they associate that with freedom, rather than like having to apply discipline and restriction to not drink. It's like a very different sort of attitude, I think. Um, and I feel like with the business stuff, it's the same sort of way. Where like, what do I want? Is like, what is this organism I'm trying to birth? There's a bunch of other like logistics around that to have it like work in a business sense. But I find I think I'm at the point where I'm accepting that there's like elements of like being effective in like a capitalist system, and that's kind of separate to what I want and I'm putting forward. But they can both be, it can work. Like I have to consider both. I don't have to love love some of the finer details of working out the commerce, but ultimately, if I ignore that, I can't do what I want. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't work. Like I wish I could, I wish it could be free and I would just get money as I need and everyone would learn as effectively. But what I've seen demonstrated is that like in my exact condition, like I mean, people have to pay basically. They have to be committed in some sort of way, or it just doesn't work. It doesn't go both ways. So yeah, the so like yeah, and clarifying what I want, like just coming back to that outcome. I think I used to be like, oh, I don't even know if I want that outcome because like somehow the outcome's inherently like impure. It's like it's greedy or something. That's kind of gone. And I'd almost like counter that by trying to be too effective at it. Go, it's not wrong. I should just maximize. So now I know what I want. I can just keep going back to that like outcome because yeah, if I know what I'm orienting myself towards, I know what that like North Star is. It's a lot simpler.
mm,
And a big part of that like now that I am even working like this guy's working with me for like 2 years, like okay, like shit, I am going to be coaching for like 2 years. It's gonna happen. What does that look like? Because it feels maybe twice as difficult to coach 10 people as like one person is sort of how I feel about it, like when I'm in the seat and stuff. So yeah, he's constantly reminding me because like sometimes I don't know where I'm progressing in terms of like my own poker thing. There's like some stuff that can happen, but it's all kind of like different flavors of the same thing. But helping other people like go through that journey is always very very inspiring and kind of reactivates these like dormant flow things I already have kind of built up.
You know, that's a huge part. Is like because we have ADHD, we're just gonna forget, and we
Yeah.
and like talking to other people who are doing the same thing, or people are just even just having a conversation with a friend. It's like stuff like that. Like we as human beings, we need other human beings to interact with to see ourselves clearly. That's especially true when you have ADHD because of the poor self awareness that comes as a symptom, just inherently.
That makes sense.
But
Hmm.
in regards to like the flow, like if you actually want to initiate more flow, it's really just about putting your attention on that thing. And that's it. Like if you just put your attention on what you want, and like because we have ADHD, it's like it's easy to get off track and get it's like the attention is scattered, right? But we can just follow the principle of overcompensation, right? Where it's like, oh, I fell off. I like don't know what I'm thinking I want again, but I remember, like I, like you said, like that North Star. Like you basically just keep spam reorienting, and then like
Yeah.
if you keep spam reorienting, it's like because of how focus works, especially when you have ADHD. And this works at the micro scale, like when you're just sitting at the desk and working, and on the macro scale for your whole life. It's like it collapses. So it's like you'll be scattered in the beginning, but as you keep just like reorienting once, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it,
Yeah.
reorient again, all of a sudden it's like, you have like the pure beam of focus
Yeah.
and flow.
You know, I know what no, I know what you mean too, and it's like I can tell when I end up kind of like my attention ends up obsessed with like I can tell what I consistently pay attention to, whether or not it's helping me. Like I've been and like the YouTube stuff's big, but even just realizing even within YouTube, like, oh hey, just block the news, you know, because it's
Yeah.
so easy for me to get like so much attention on that stuff, and I know it just devastates me. Um, so even just giving myself permission to go, okay, well I shouldn't be obsessed with this. I can be obsessed with the other thing. Yeah, it definitely starts to get better because that's one of the things like you know yeah, it's like when I have that sort of focus, like, do I even have ADHD? You know, like in a clinical setting, maybe not. Like maybe that is what you get good at as an adult, but then it's like what I find, because they claim that some people grow out of it or whatever. It tends to get better over time, but I feel like in the way it presents, it might be something like that. You figure out more or less a lot of your life when you're like 30 or 40 and more or less doing the same job, and then so like clearly you're like functional by like a psychiatrist's evaluation if you're living that way.
Yeah.
But then yeah, it's tricky when the wheels come apart and you're trying to like do something creative or like I know I could just do a job. I know I could show up to a work and like follow through, and maybe I'd have some resistance to it. It's this kind of semi open ended, self directed like creative projects where I'm coming up with the benchmarks. Can just be like spooky at the beginning, but yeah, it does feel like stuff like drops in the bucket at the beginning as well. Then it starts to like fill up. It gets a bit more clear. It gets more solid. Like constraints start to go away. I'm further down the game tree. Less
Yeah.
open ended.
Exactly. Exactly.
I guess that's the other thing. It's like I know there's like maybe like let's say 20 ways this could go. I don't know which one, but like, but I'm not gonna know until I start and I go down these like 500 branches. Like,
Yeah. You just keep trying stuff.
I guess that's different to be like curiosity and fear too. Like there's something like I keep going back to like faith of like even just the base level faith of like I know that on some level everything I believe is somewhat of a fantasy and an illusion, and my sense of the world isn't direct, and that can be kind of like spooky. But just having like a broader trust in how things will unfold or like things that are beyond my perception, trusting that things will play out well ultimately, even if I don't know how it's going to go. You um, this feels related because it's like it's uncertainty and there's doubt, and it's like okay, sure, but like that feels like entirely a matter of perspective because I really like what am I doubting? Like what am I even afraid of that it like won't go exactly as I foresee? Like that seems like a guarantee to me.
Yeah. No, literally. Yeah.
So
No.
I think a lot of it for me is that like it's like over obsession with control or like even thinking I'm too much the center of the world in terms of like maybe excessive responsibility or just like controlling stuff beyond my scope. Like obviously my life's happening to me, but
Yeah, no, dude. Literally, literally, the only like function and mechanism you have as a human being basically is to put your attention on something. And then like this is how it works. It's the principal momentum. It's like if you put your attention on something, you'll start to gain momentum. And then if you gain enough momentum, you'll gain more momentum. Like that's how momentum works. It's
yeah,
exponential.
okay, no, that tracks. So I think I'm realizing like I think I'm realizing because I for sure believe that. I don't think that, and I think I would have said the same thing like a year ago, 2 years ago. I think I kind of tried to put my attention on the news so much that I could fix the world. Like that doesn't work. So
Yeah.
like I do it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was
no.
like, but that's an insane way to go about it. I mean, like even if I was like, oh, okay, I care about that event, I'm gonna put or like this issue, and then I was gonna then make out a plan to actually attend that to make whatever small impact. Like, that's a different thing if I chose to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what like in that, I'm just putting my attention on spectacle if I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so from that, I guess it's yeah, it is feeling clear and safe that like I'll be like, well, I don't want to put all my attention onto like my business or like this poker project because I'm not even sure it's the right thing. Might have been what I would have said like a few months ago. Well, like that doubt's been what's kind of easing up. Um, and now I don't really doubt that. Feels like the right thing for me at least right now. And yeah, the resistance feels different because of it. It's like I'm not having the resistance and then fear on top of it and then a story I believe. It's like more just the sensation. Um, so that's nice.
Yeah, no. Dude,
Yeah,
that's freaking awesome.
so like yeah, and like where the attention's going to, and it's not just it's the thing with the attention too, like because I can like kind of put it around like reactively or like frantically, it like like attention and intention, I suppose, like simultaneously for me, because it's like the quality of my attention seems to matter because it's going to take me somewhere different as well. Um, but same thing, it's all just attention.
Yeah. Well, I'd even go as far as to say is like the quality of the attention, like it does matter, but what matters
Or
so
maybe I'm
much
overrating it.
yeah, like what matters so much more is just having the attention. And just like
Mm-hmm.
and again, like we're scatterbrained, we get scattered, but it's like you just keep returning. Like focus is not staying on track and like being on track 100% of the time. Focus is your ability to get back on track. That is what focus is.
I heard a reframe of even like zoning out, where it's like it's almost like a superpower, like because in relation to there's like too much on my mind or I'm overwhelmed. You zone out and then you zone in and then you pick one thing and you do it. If you keep like zoning out, zoning out, zoning out, that's not great. But
Yeah.
yeah, like zoning out is part of orienting attention,
Yes.
and then so makes sense to me. But then yeah, I guess it's like effectively, I guess when you zone out and then you zone in again, that you're actually I don't know the North Star thing. I feel like actually having some sort of orientation instead of just getting like completely thrashed around. Um,
Yeah.
no, that's pretty sick. I mean, and then obviously the social media stuff, like is controlling people's attention for it to go to like whatever, and like I don't like that feeling of it seeming out of my hands. Um, okay, okay.
Yeah, and a way that you can think about it, which might help you, is like, okay, so you're building this organism, and you can kind of think of yourself as like the heart of the organism, right? Um, which this organism is your business, and everything you're trying to do, not just your business, basically your life. And so like the business is a branch, it's like an arm on this organism, and like, oh shoot, my mind's just dropping the ball. Where was I going? Um, oh yeah, so like what things like the social media are, and like all these different ideas that you have that you don't have finalized and you're not sure, and it's like what's going on. Everything that you know is basically like taking your attention. Well, if you think about it, it's like flow, and if all you have is your attention, And if flow is the measure of things growing and things working versus dying, like if there's not flow, you're dying slowly. That's kind of how you can think about it, which is not necessarily a bad thing because you could be going through a growth where there's like a certain starvation and then something blooms from it, right? But it's like that's all you have, and so everything that is costing you that is like a parasite that's like latched on
no.
to you and is just like
No, for
sucking
sure.
away attention.
Yeah, I like. I've heard brainworms before, which I quite like. Or yeah, just like these. I mean, like I've been thought about like thoughts in general, like for a while.
Yeah,
I'm just like I just don't want to think anymore because like yeah, it can serve you, but it's meant to be more like that spark. It's like an intermediary. It's like
yeah,
something you can do to like play with at the moment. But then when it's like compulsive or obsessive or recurring and and it doesn't feel good, it's like what am I even doing?
yeah. No,
And yeah, so it's a bit like being more I almost want to say aggressive, more proactive about noticing that stuff and shutting it out. Well, like I feel like it often happens all at once to me. Like even right now, I'm sort of like, oh, I'm not taking that seriously. So a thought comes up, I can kind of like drop it away again. And then being on the wrong side of it for me is when I'm like, oh, these are all real problems that me or someone else has to fix before they can stop taking my energy. And that it's not always the new shit. Like I kept finding this too. It's like this is a little bit tangential, I think, but I almost feel like a lot of the what I perceive to be problems or like my internal patterns of like what I'm trying to like fix or something, it almost doesn't matter what's going on circumstantially. Like if I play poker 6 hours a day, I'm going to experience those stresses in poker. If I don't play poker, I'll get mad at my dog or something. It's like
yeah,
it'll just come up in some different form, like these inner things, like looking for some justification to like project onto a little bit. Um, I don't think that's quite the same as this thought thing, but it's like related in the perspective thing. If you almost can just bucket all of these as I don't know, it's something in the way that I view them and approach them. It's just yeah, realizing it's a thought and I can let go of the thought instead of like really like responding to the thought, and then it just loses power. Whereas like engaging with it makes it seem real.
yeah. And the reason why is because you put a little bit of attention into it, and it's a medium. So what's going to happen? It's going to gain momentum. Like everything is momentum and flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Hmm.
the what I've like heard of a bunch of different um, frameworks for like helping with the intrusive thoughts. But the one that's really seems to have helped me the most is just kind of relating it to like junk mail in your emails, where it's like you just have spam email that comes in and it's like, oh, you just immediately recognize that spam and then you just mark it as spam. And it's like, because it's our thoughts, we want to get worked up because it's like, why is this bad thing in my brain? Like, and then it can cause shame, which is like, I'm the problem, not there is a
Yeah.
problem, right? And, but that's just
Hmm.
unhelpful. And so,
Yeah.
like, just in the same way that you wouldn't get like, be like, oh my gosh, I'm a horrible person because some random freaking company that you don't even remember signing up for like gave your email to some weird, I don't know, just like something you don't want to get in your inbox. It'd just be like, oh, what the hell? And you just mark it as spam. It's like weird.
Yeah. No, I like the spam thing. Yeah, because like I have actually been in that headspace where it's like, yeah, I'm in a really bad spot. It's like, no, I am a terrible. Like, how did I even let this happen? But it's like it's basically just like if I'm in a really negative headspace, and then basically going like solipsistic, and then it's like everything is my problem. That like I can tell that's just deranged. Yeah, no, the spam thing is useful because I think the tricky thing I found with like I don't know, like the world is bad thing. It's just like I kind of just do have to accept that like there isn't a clean answer, and then I can actually function realistically as like a human being or even for
Mm-hmm.
myself. Not like thinking, oh yeah, so like if I can just figure out this problem, then I'll be perfect and things are good. It's like deranged. Like, what am I doing? Like, what is the standard that I'm even trying to hold?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just like it's not my fucking job to fix these problems.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
I can barely help like poker players who pay me. I mean, or I can only do that under very specific conditions. So
Yeah.
I clearly can't do much. Like,
Literally. No,
And so I think that's
exactly.
maybe where I was getting lost to. It's like, well, okay, it's that, so I can help these poker people. Cool. Like obviously there's some benefit, but then like this idea that maybe I could just figure out some way to be doing 1,000 times more like clearly positive benefit. I don't. Yeah, no, I don't really think that's true. I think that's just a that would be nice if life worked that way sort of story.
Well, I'll put it this way. I want to show you a framework that's proven very helpful to me. Um, so, everything in life is process, and we struggle to think of things as like not just like, oh, you do it and then it's done. Like especially with the time blindness, like
Mm-hmm.
so like just saying, oh, everything's process, that's kind of hard for our brains to catch. But what has been able to catch for me is realizing that everything is done better and makes more sense in layers. Where it's like there is never just like, oh, I do the entire thing. Like that's not how anything works. It's like there's layer 1, which is like the really low attention phase where you're like looking for all the options, looking for every single angle of attack, like what's going on, what do I really want, what's happening. And then you narrow it down a little bit more in layer 2, then you narrow it down a little bit more in layer 3. It's like in each iteration of
Yeah,
layers, you're cutting away noise. And then once you get down to like
100%.
layer
Yeah,
5, it's like it's just clean.
yeah. No, I like that. That tracks completely to like my coaching process too. It's just like you deal with the most noise that matters the least as quickly as possible, and then like more accurate, and then yeah, once you've gotten rid of the majority of the noise, then people like then you're actually at that point where you are thinking about something, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I think that's where yeah, like because I'm okay if I don't have too much noise. Like I'm kind of okay with having problems, Then it's like okay, I'm clear on what's going on. I can figure it out. When there's a lot of noise, I think maybe that's when everything feels like more futile, helpless, overwhelming, sort of thing. And that also
Yeah.
just starts at the beginning, like too much uncertainty. So yeah, that tracks. The idea that like, oh, I should just arrive at the perfect answer, then it will go away, but I can't do that, or I try to do that and it doesn't work, so I'm not even going to clear up the noise. Yeah, I see that. That's very prevalent behavior for sure.
Yeah. So when you so when you have a problem that you're trying to solve, or when you have a question in your mind that you're trying to answer, or when you're literally physically doing a task, like this is what you can ask yourself is like, okay, what layer am I in and what layer do I need to be at? But then you understand that there is a time delay between each of the layers. And so it's like, oh, I may not get to layer 3 today. I may just get to layer
Yeah,
2 and then have to bookmark that I'm on layer 2 and then come back and do layer 3.
yeah, yeah. No, that's it. Yeah, this is my. I don't need to justify. Like, I don't know if I could solve. Like, there's no one reason why I maybe stall more than I need to on stuff like this. But there's just something about the fact that it is a like long time bound process. Yeah, where I'm sitting now is that like I have enough clarity and positive feeling and faith and some degree of momentum as well, just like working with people. That now's the time. Like I have
Yeah.
that stability down. I'm on like my legs doing good. It's all a bit easier. Um, yeah. So I guess the other thing was like if I'm signing up for that, like, do I even want to do it? That's been my doubt. Like, it was like I'm going to do this. It'll be good for other people, but I won't want to, or I should have picked a different lane. That's also gone. Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of time. I'm just going to put a lot of hours into this, but right now I put a lot of hours into stressing about stuff like this.
Yeah. Well,
It's
to
fun work
me,
ultimately. Like so much of it's conversational. I feel like I have the stuff together when I just have the people in the room. I just like show them something and then we talk about it. Or maybe I have to review it for 30 minutes or an hour before, put something together, do like a lecture, then talk about it. But the entire like actual coaching process with people who are like more or less up to speed with it, I really really like. Um, so yeah, even most of the work that I'm projecting in my head, it's maybe 4 to 5 hours a week of that sort of semi-tedious admin stuff, and everything else is just like actually directly connecting with people and trying to teach them stuff. Um, and also, assuming I'm fully successful in relaunching this, I don't have to do it forever. I mean, maybe I would, but that's the other thing. Like, I'm not going to get stuck here by being successful. I'm kind of afraid of like, I don't know, yeah, like golden cage type stuff, like feeling
Yeah.
obligated to continue. But again, like I don't have to keep doing this if it works. You know, it's just like it's like what I'm doing now. It might land me somewhere I have no idea where it land. I mean, even this corporate gig, you know, maybe I had that in the back of my mind, but yeah, like who the hell knows? Um, God, that's kind of spooky to me. Like I think I have this story that like if I choose to do a really specific thing, I can kind of guarantee some outcomes, or like if I just did my coaching more or less the same way I did originally, I would definitely be in the same place a year or two later or 5 years later, and that's just also not true. Like I'm way like overfitting how much control I have over the full trajectory of my life in this one domain.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
just like I'm realizing it's not as important as I think it is sort of what I'm realizing. Like this felt very fragile to me somehow. Like if I'm off by even a little bit, it's going to be very bad. And I'm realizing there's just much more range for expression around the same core. I think.
yeah, no, for real. And so what it really comes down to is just having a little bit more intentionality of like what flows you're going to forge, like what flows you're going to allow to happen, and what flows you're not going to allow to happen.
Mm-hmm. I like that a lot because yeah, I also like I guess it's similar to getting stuck where I don't want to be. I kind of have this idea that hey, if I just go with the flow, I'll basically like end up manic and agreeing to something I don't want to do and like just like basically lose myself through too much like elation. But just even that, like I mean, just applying discernment to like pick which one I'm gonna do. Like there we go, but game over. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Heck yeah.
That like that. I'm surprised that concept is hitting me as hard as it is with how simple that one is. Like the choosing the flows thing.
Yeah.
I think there's something to differentiate because we talked about it in terms of like getting into flow or like dopamine stuff or like social media or video games or something. But yeah, like even within what I'm choosing to like work on and that intentionality. Yeah, I kept thinking about presence, but like just like intention works as well in terms of like what the hell am I doing? Like when I show up and I don't know exactly what the work I'm going to do is, I have like a vague direction. Showing up in the right way. Like I've been told this before. It's like how you show up almost matters more than the other stuff, especially in I don't know knowledge work or like coaching work, or like the relationship with a therapist matters more than the type of therapy or their methodology of therapy. Um, hmm. When you're saying negative flows, like what are you thinking of mostly?
Um, so my brain goes two places. So like number one is this concept of basically like outside threats, which would be things like TikTok or something, right? Where it's like it basically is like I really really like the productivity as war framework. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you said before you didn't want to say aggressive, uh, and
No, I'm yeah, no.
you want
I
yeah
mean, I mean internally too, because I mean like I don't want it to. I don't want to create excess stress in myself. Like I'm not like to the point where it's functional and like the threat detection, yeah. And again, like being like realistic, not necessarily having as much rose tinted glasses for the what. Like I fully agree, especially if I'm like trying not to get distracted on YouTube, while on some level I am using YouTube to market. Like clearly I'm kind of at war, Like I
yeah
I gotta not get swept up in
yeah
it too. Um, winning hearts and minds, to some level.
yeah
And yeah, even if it's not that deep, it's just the business thing. Like, yeah, for sure. Um, so I think that's where before I might have felt like a conflict between those two things. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't like this shouldn't even be a like I shouldn't use YouTube. It's evil. If it's a war on me, then but it's the same thing where like, I'm just like trying to look. It's way too binary to view it that way. It's just not realistic.
yeah
Yeah. So negative play like distractions like TikTok and stuff. I like doing that. The threat detection. I I have my threat detection on for like other poker media. Like I don't watch shit because it just makes me angry.
Yeah.
um, but I don't have it for like a lot of like entertainment-y type stuff. But I've got like I've been putting more blockers on. I think I took them away again, but it was very effective. I have a maybe I'll turn it back on. It's on here still. No, I have to reinstall it. I had a YouTube blocker that was just giving me the search bar, and then I was only turning it off when I was uploading something. And that I was overriding it a lot, but that was completely effective in just like blocking that rabbit hole, like
Oh
that
yeah.
first click thing.
Yeah. Well, dude, there's I, I'm gonna keep saying it. It's like the gospel of freaking uh, dealing with YouTube is like untrapped plus element blocker, where it's like YouTube is constantly updating, and this kind of like ties into war. Is like we kind of are like it's a war for our attention, and um, I find that I'm going to relate this back to productivity while I'm talking about this. So just think about that as this kind of applies to everything. Is like when you give yourself permission to have no chill, like that's actually what your brain wants. And so it's like we try to make it seem like, and I feel like you've kind of talked in about this kind of where it's like, to me, it almost sounds like you at times try to make things seem more like less exciting and more like how to put this, like everything's more kind of just like baseline because the excitement can cause problems, and I fully agree with
Yeah,
that. But there's like this weird relationship with that excitement of if you actually give yourself permission to do it, now you can be excited responsibly. And
yeah.
so
I no that I hear what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, because I'm like trying to like reduce noise and like variance, and then also like even like emotionally, but to the point where it does get like blunt, it almost gets depressing because it's like, oh, everything's a given.
yeah,
Um,
and
but there's something to like there's understanding that on one level, but then it can lead to like just a disengagement that's like, yeah, I mean, it's just no fun. And the no chill thing too, like even beyond that, like I have this idea that like I'm meant to be relaxing, like not necessarily zoning out, but like hardcore properly relaxing, as opposed to like, yeah, just like consistently engaged. Like I have something where I was like, I should be overclocking myself for 4 to 6 hours a day, and then like doing like near nothing brain dead for 6 hours a day is like a better balance than like 8, 9, 10 hours of like kind of consistent 80%. And like
absolutely,
on like a belief and on like a belief level as well, because there's like variance with it, and I see myself even seeking it and like how I play that out. Because and then I guess when I hear no chill on the surface level like reaction to that, it's like, oh, what? But I'm already so stressed for these brief windows. But it's not the same thing. It's like if I know I am actually just consistently engaged, then I don't have to do it all now. It's like I've got no chills. Like I'm going to work on this obsessively for a year. Okay, great, problem solved.
yeah,
Not like I better do it this week. Like what am I
yeah,
doing? Like
exactly,
that's mad.
yeah,
No, I like that. But no, actually, I really like that. Like no chill, but like in a long term view, like on a personality level. Whereas I think what I'm doing now is like I want to stress temporarily, never stress again, and that like good lord, no, that urgency does not work for long term games.
oh
And most of the payoff I'm finding in business or whatever else is that ability to actually have that long term perspective and like zoom out. I mean, obviously just following through and stuff, maybe more than even the perspective. Um, yeah, like showing up completely. Like I'm feeling like that's the thing with like inevitability. It's I'm just gonna keep showing up with that feeling of inevitability and like acting in a way that makes stuff inevitable, and that really does feel like a huge shift. Because the other thing is, I'm afraid it won't happen, so I have to compensate and overdo it now. It has to be better now, rather than I'm going to do this 100 times. It's going to be good.
yeah, no, dude, just like owning, like if you want to, and like I think oftentimes we do, and then when we stifle it we just create anxiety and more noise and like chaos,
Yeah,
is like
yeah, yeah,
acknowledging when we want to be aggressive. when it's like
Yeah,
there's uncertainty here and I crave certainty and I'm going to create it no matter what.
yeah. I don't have it, but I will create it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I that fully track. I was gonna say something around like avoiding or being afraid of my own nature almost, and I feel like it's like something like that. It is like this,
Yeah.
like suppressing that aggressive urge makes sense. And it's also like it's like suppressing the aggressive urge and feels related to again like having, I don't know, like this negative self belief or just like not fully engaging. It's like I can trust that I'm going to use that aggression in the right way. Like again, to create certainty, I'm not gonna like if I am over aggressive and I found out like I'm on the wrong target, I'll reorient or whatever. But
Exactly.
yeah, suppressing it does create this yeah, it's like a stagnation. And then it's strange too because I have that like it almost I end up in like an agitated depression basically, where I'm like I have energy, I show up, I do stuff, but I'm just like chronically dissatisfied and like can be easily like triggered if that really gets to like a fever pitch. Um, yeah, no, it's very strange. Okay, wait, this is somewhat reframing the the way I've been like mentally conceptualizing like what resistance is doing or manifesting. Like I haven't realized I have resistance to that aggression in its self or something. Like I can see how that's actually creating a feeling then I project onto other stuff, and then I'm like, oh, I have resistance around like the email. I have resistance to emails, but I think it's more I think it's more resistance to like I have to be willing to be aggressive enough in emails, otherwise they are going to be an ineffective, painful waste of time.
Yeah.
Like if I'm just trying to like people please everyone who sends me an email, it's like I'll do what I can. It's not like they have to be a client for me to offer them some value, but generally speaking, like that's probably is how it's going to work. Like obviously, I'm filtering for clients at the end of the day, and if somehow I'm just saying that's not okay, I'm not going to answer my emails. um, yeah, shit. Um, no, the long term aggression is what's coming to my mind because I think this is the oscillating of I'll be excessively aggressive because I'll like kind of boil over, and then I'll try to compensate for that by like being very chill or only doing that when absolutely necessary, but just actually picking something to be that obsessed with and pursuing it in the long term. It also takes away the short term desperation. It's not like if I'm not getting closer today, it's not going to happen. Like that's not even a setback unless it happens, day after day after day.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess the problem's excess, right? I mean, the problem's like it's too much aggressive because it's also compensatory rather than just channeled properly.
Yeah, no, literally. Exactly. Like the
Yeah,
whole reason that you think the aggression is a problem is because it doesn't have a channel.
yeah, shit, dude.
And like your productivity can be that channel. Slaying resistance can be that channel. It's like, oh, I see resistance. What the hell? No. You know? Being offensive rather than defensive.
Yeah, my mind again. I'm like I can feel the resistance coming up. It's like, oh no, it's still a problem. It's like you can't just make a YouTube video every day. But again, even that's a misinterpretation. That would be again like making me compensating. I'm
Well,
like, oh good, I can be aggressive. I'm gonna go. I mean,
dude, you
I could
could.
do one. Well,
You literally
yeah, I
could.
totally. Well, okay, that's true. I literally could, totally could. But I also mean it's like I still feel like that's somehow the compensatory aggression where I'm like, oh okay, I'll just do one thing 1,000 times. It's like maybe I just maybe I do almost everything like 3 times more. But like it would be more production. But you know what I mean. It doesn't have to be. I mean, I literally could. It would be a lot more,
Well,
but
you just check everything. You're
mm,
always checking everything. You're just checking everything.
mm.
What's the ROI on that? That's like the number one question. What's the ROI on that?
Yeah, and that's the weird thing with like diminishing returns and stuff. But again, like long-term aggression, like say I do cap out my business as like a one or like two-person thing. Um, I could leave it there for a year or two if I wanted while I try to crack the other problem, and then like at least it's there. Then I'm working on other stuff. But who knows? If it is my priority, maybe I do learn something. Like I don't know how it would play out. But yeah, that checking what's the ROI, where can I be doing better, what's going wrong, and then like just seriously like doggedly trying to get it better. Um, yeah, no, for sure. This is a bit of a eureka moment for me. That aggression suppression, because again, like somehow I would have had a negative conception of that. I just like, oh, like what? I'm just dissatisfied. it's like not even that. It's like I know that, like basically within reach is like a more satisfying existence that I hold myself back from. So like of course that's frustrating.
Yeah, literally. All right, man. Want to do a review real quick?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's go back to the
We got
beginning
reviews.
and just kind of walk
Yeah,
through.
MVP got that. It's all about having like the flow going, like the actual like vital cycle, the process, bringing that like creation into being. Um, a lot of the fear is like uncertainty type stuff, but when I have that like actual like commitment, or I'm just going to phrase it as aggression. I preach to poker players they need to get over their shit and be more aggressive. So I don't know why I have resistance to like
Bro.
as,
Yeah.
yeah, but like I'm like it's okay in poker because poker's a toy game. Life, no, but yeah, you can be aggressive in any direction. Yeah, positive refurb of aggression. There's like many potential outcomes. I don't know what they are, but like I get that clarity by doing it. These sort of like energy drains, like just like the thoughts and like the distractions, just like being aware of them, essentially, like cutting them out, not feeding them, uh, doing them as spam. I like the noise filters a lot because especially in terms of like working on curriculum or teaching people at different stages. Like usually I tell people there's like 4 or 5 levels, but yeah, that's some of what stresses me out. What going through emails is like I'm trying to work with people who are entering at different points of like the noise filter. But I have that worked out. That guy's actually in the infrastructure. Um, okay, what was this? Oh yeah, positive versus negative flows. We mostly talked about like the TikTok distraction there, and then I can't remember exactly what this last note signified, but like the last that we talked about was just that not like suppressing the aggression, basically.
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah, long term aggression is it. That's a huge shift. That's really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. It was good to hear from you, man.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Hope you have
So
a great year.
you too. So two things real quick. One, are you okay with this going up on YouTube?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. And then number two is a while back, uh, whatever card you had um, going on stopped going through. So I
Oh,
went ahead.
when was that?
Um, that was a while back, and it honestly, I think it was like one session that basically didn't get paid for because of time when you were like, um, what was it? I'm drawing a blank here, but like basically it was like 1 or 2 sessions that didn't get paid for. But like honestly, I don't even care. Um, so just like go ahead and like click on that new link, and from now on it should be okay if you just use that.
Okay, sweet. I'm doing that now.
Awesome, awesome, bro. All right, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next week.
Yep, same time, Monday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday for me. Would you be able to do Actually, wait, does this work? Could you do? How is Sunday for you? If it's a challenge at all, we can do it because this is Tuesday for me. But this is totally fine.
Sunday is good for me, so that would be Monday for you.
Yeah, that'll be Monday for me. But yeah, the yeah like 1 p.m. Monday, or even like a little bit earlier, like 12 p.m., like noon. Monday would work.
Okay, so
So an hour before we scheduled this one. It's 4 p.m. now.
okay, um, yeah, I'll get that down. Uh, so that would be when did we start this one? We started at 10, so it'd be 9. Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Does that time work? Because like, this time's fine too. But yeah, early is
Yeah, no, that time works.
great.
Go ahead and put that in your calendar.
Will do.
Alrighty.
Cool. See you then. Have a good one.
Yep, I'll see you. Peace, man.